Coach Gilcrist, thanks so much for your time today. How do you feel about the team so far, and how was camp for you guys?
Camp was great. Camp was great. This was, and kind of the other coaches kind of said it, and players as well. This is probably the most camp that they've had as far as activity. We've met a lot. We had a lot of team walkthroughs. We had more up pace and pace to our practices and things of that nature. But the guys, the buy-in has been great, and I think that's the one thing that shows through their play, through their excitement, and we talk about positive attitude, attention to detail, and a sense of urgency. And they've had that sense of urgency all camp. And you kind of see that in their play and see that in their progress. And I'm actually very happy and thrilled at the progress that they've made, and being able to pick up and have a new staff here, have a new way of doing things here, and being able to still come out here day in and day out and build this whole castle that we're trying to build here. So going into week one and coming out of the preseason, feel really good about where we're at. Obviously, we're not where we want to be. The season's a long season, and we've got to make sure we're getting better every single day. But I'm proud of the work of the coaches and the players.
Every year you lose some seniors and you bring in fresh talent. I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about the offense and the defense a little bit later, but can you talk a little bit about some of the guys that we've brought in and some of the underclassmen that you're really excited to see step up this season?
Absolutely. And we've had quite a few, come in and show that they're not only are they capable of playing, but they have the mental knowledge to go out there and play at a high level. Luke Degner is a receiver who's going to be starting in the slot for us. He's done a very good job catching the football, and even in the scrimmage versus North Central, showed out and showed up a lot there. Sterling Sakashita is going to be a guy that starts at the star for us on defense, and just his aggressiveness and athleticism showed, from day one. Really, we're still not in full pads, and we had to rein him in a little bit, but you love that. You love that, especially from a defensive standpoint. And then I kind of look at guys along the D line and guys at the the linebacker spot, and guys who have guys in front of them, but they're going to be able to contribute and put themselves in a really good spot to come out and show what they got. So just as we kind of progress, and I even mentioned our one of the punters, Noah Buddha from Pittsburgh. He's a guy, he's in a battle right now for who's gonna start in that game one, and we still have that battle even going into practice today. But those are guys who have stepped up a lot and have kind of flashed, whether it was in practice or the scrimmage, and then especially as we kind of go into this week, have done a really good job.
Flipping over to the offensive side of the ball, who are some names, numbers that fans should be keeping their eye out for, and that you're expecting to see a lot of leadership from this season?
So obviously we got Nick D'Ambrose back, number 11, returning All-American and stat leader. But the thing that stands out the most from Nick's standpoint is the way he leads. And the way one of our other running backs, Kyle James, looking for him to kind of step up. He brings energy and enthusiasm. But one thing he said even about Nick D'Ambrose is he doesn't gatekeep. It's one of those things where all the knowledge that he has and what he sees and how he goes through his reads, he's making sure those other backs see those things. And Wes Gow, being number 10, being our quarterback, he brings a calmness to the offense and being able to keep everybody settled down and focused at the task at hand, and being able to run the offense and put ourselves in the best possible position. And then those guys along the offensive line, when you talk about Yale Harburger, when you talk about Madden High, when you talk about DJ Jalen, when you talk about Brandon Schillig, those are guys who step up day in and day out, and we know the game is won up front. And we know that if we're able to, run the football, especially with D'Ambrose and those guys along the offensive line, we know we're going to have a really powerful offense. Because then you add in Aiden Nava, Luke Degner, and then Brendan Kang and Coleman Smith and Michael Janis, and those guys out there on the perimeter. We feel good about where we're at. Obviously, once again, and as a coach, I always say, we need that daily progress. But I like where we're at.
Flipping over to the defensive side of the ball, can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So we have two captains on that side with Braden Junker and Jason Hine, and them being our two starting safeties. That once again, and I talked about Wes with the calmness. They bring that energy, but also that calmness to the defensive side to make sure that we're in the right checks, make sure we're in the right calls, make sure that we're running the right things, and make sure everybody's kind of on the same page. And then you look at the linebackers, and you got Will Skorowski and number 40, and that's a kid who plays with high energy, but he's intelligent. He's very intelligent and dissects plays very well. And then you got Chris Murphy, you got Leo Spudel, and then you go get along our D line where you got Roman Lewis and Arthur Long and Saska. You have guys there who are energetic and play with a sense of urgency. And when you talk about defense, when you have that sense of urgency and you can come out there and play in and play out, hitting guys in the mouth, that's one thing that when you watch our defense, they swarm the football and they're going to hit you. They're going to hit you for 60 minutes or however long it takes. But that's the thing that stands out the most. And I'm really looking forward to watching them fly around.
As we transition into week one, we've got Concordia Chicago this Saturday. Can you talk about kind of how you're scouting them, what we can expect to see on Saturday versus them?
But anytime you go into the first game, you want to be really good at what you do. And when we watch them on film, we're watching a very athletic team. We're watching a team that, has very good skill players. On the offensive side, they have a very talented running back. On the defensive side, on the defensive side, we know they have DBs. We know they have a really strong D line and guys who can get after the quarterback. So we're going to have to play really well. But the biggest thing is making sure that we do the simple things and remember the fundamentals and play fast and be able to just truly understand that, if we have that attention to detail and we have that sense of urgency in everything that we do and play with some tempo, but then also be able to control the line of scrimmage, we can find ourselves in a good spot. But that is a very good football team that we are playing on Saturday.
Excellent. Coach Gilcrist, good luck this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.